Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. I know that's sounds kind of crazy, but I know we have people tuning in from everywhere. Welcome to Ring Ads December 2020. This is day one. Can't wait to see how much pep in my step I've got day 31. Not that I'm expected to drag down or anything by any means, but it's going to be interesting to see how we rally together and group together. So anyway, I'm excited to be here. Um, I am very happy to have you here. We'll be doing attendance in a little bit and starting off with a bang, right? I've got a few things I want to cover with you first, but let me grab some water. And while I'm doing that, tell me in the comments as you're watching right now, share with me, tell me a little bit about, as you always hear me say in our sales script training, um, where you're tuning in from. City and country is cool, and or city and state if you're in the states, and how excited you are. Are you excited as I am? Today is day one. This is it right here. 31 days of just nothing but ring ads and client acquisition. This is tis the season. Tis the season. Here's to you guys, right? Okay. Normally I don't make you watch me drink water, but I just had to get a little bit of water in there. All right. uh oh, hey, Scott's there. Hello, Scott. Um, I'll just wait for a couple seconds, make sure everybody's kind of tuned in. I see we have some people there. Actually, you know what? Um, let's go ahead and get started. Let's just do that while everybody chimes in there. All right, so mindset. Um, First things first, like you guys, if you're here, you know the deal, and if you're not, you're catching up. There's some sessions that we did, some fast start sessions that'll point you in the more than point you in the right direction. But first thing I want to cover is a few things, and one of them being the most important, at least to me, is what I call the business owner's mindset, and in this case, the agency owner's mindset. Let me tell you something, folks. This is so important that I have created a an entire topic of training or entire training set, and I'm currently still adding to it, and I'm basically going back and pulling everything I've done over the years. So think about like how many times you've been on a coaching call with me or a live stream or work with me one on one and all the little nuggets that I've given you, right? Or some of the on screen stuff that we share back and forth and I help you with your campaigns, but then I tell you something and it just clicks with you. Those kinds of things. I'm compiling all those, putting all those together, and I'm not really building a leadership training, but it could be considered that. It's more of a mindset, a business owner's mindset, more specifically an agency owner's mindset, um, and what it's going to take for you, like where you need to be. And I did this whole thing yesterday, actually, on the mentorship session that we did for managing expectations, basically, and it was really good. And it was long overdue because it's things I've talked about here and there, but never just hey, here it is, and you've got to learn it because if you don't, I'll tell you right now, anybody can. And the best analogy I came up with yesterday to really finally make it click for some people, and that's cool because that means I'm getting through even more than I thought I was. Um, Here's the analogy. So if you look at McDonald's, I like to talk about McDonald's a lot, right? They've got great systems and processes, a very solid business model. Maybe not the best product in the world, but at the end of the day, in their business, it actually doesn't matter. In ours, uh, with how we do things with integrity and honesty and transparency, it does matter, and we do need the best product, and we have it, right? I teach you how to sell that, right? So you do have the best product, so you're not the worst burger in the world with the best sales model. You're the best burger in the world with the best sales model, right? That's what you have with ring ads. Um, that's the good news. But at the same time, anybody can walk into a McDonald's and pick up a burger flipper and start flipping burgers for a living, right? It's not complicated. And at the end of the day, Some of you find this challenging because you've never done it before, but same thing for flipping burgers. You would find flipping burgers challenging have you never done it before, right? But doing it for a living, it gets old hat very, very quickly. So in almost anybody, including young kids, 15, 16 years old, can flip burgers at McDonald's. Same could be said about running ad campaigns to drive phone calls for clients, especially with me here helping you, right? Training you. So um, anybody can do that, right? And you can build a business and you can be a burger flipper, professional burger flipper, rest of your life if that's what you want. Or you can build an agency. In other words, build an actual physical location up and own it and run it and not have to work in it flipping burgers all the time and no longer become a mom and pops. Beyond that, there's even many other levels that I discuss, and I'm not going to spend all my time doing that, but I will tell you about a couple of them beyond that so that your head can really kind of try to expand to what I'm saying here and how important this actually is. It's not just about one location at that point either. It's about multiple locations and how that translates into our agency model. And what I teach you is multiple verticals, right? That's the equivalent of multiple locations if you were to own McDonald's franchises, right? Management of expectations. Shit doesn't happen overnight. McDonald's model is going to be anywhere from 18 to 36 months, and at least 12 of those months as an owner, I'm talking like you throw the money down. It's not like you just walk into your own McDonald's branch, right? That's not how it works. 18 to 36 months is the process. 12 of those months, you are spending working with, they call it shadowing, but working with another owner operator at another franchise and basically doing the work of an owner for 12 months under the supervision of another owner that's proven themselves, right? That's a long time. This model, half that. And not only half that, but you don't end up with one location, you can end up with several. In other words, you can be in several verticals in the same amount of time it takes you to get into one location in McDonald's. And you're almost profitable from day one. And a lot of people are profitable from day one when they start their agencies. Uh, but again, if you don't have the business owner's mindset, the agency owner's mindset, so there's a whole training topic set that I'm dedicating to that. It'll be in the training. I'll be posting it on YouTube. I'll be talking about a lot of the topics here on the December Dash because that's the stuff that I feel like is going to keep you going. All right, you've got the training. You're going to get even more of the training. These sessions are for not pump up and rah rah, right? That's not me. I don't do that. I'm not saying those are bad things either. I'm just saying if you need a rah rah fix, you know, turn on some Tony Robbins, listen to some Brain FM, right? Do it from the pros, right? Get that from the pros. Get that shit from the pros, not from me. I'm the pro in the agency world, right? In the agency space, and the mindset it's going to take to do that. So let me give you that, and because nobody else is giving you that, nobody else is giving you that. Nobody else is going to shoot you straight enough or tell you the fucking truth. Sorry, pardon my French, but not really. Nobody's going to tell you the truth about what it's going to take to run the agency, and it's not like it's going to take everything out of your life. I can help you structure things even with a full-time job to get the things that you need done in this agency model and still have time for the family and still have time for the children, right? And the wife or the significant other, right? That's important. I I know that. Been there, done that. That's important. And if you let it go or if you don't manage it well, with everything else you're trying to build, by the time you build what you build in the agency, you got nobody to share it with. That's no good, right? Don't want that. So, anyway, management of your own expectations. We're going to be talking about that as we go along over the next few days here. I want to talk to you about initially starting out because that's obviously what we're doing today, right? A lot of you may have even already gotten on the phone. I'm I'm going to pull a line from Wolf of Wall Street with Jordan's character, not Jordan's character, Donnie Diamond Azoff or whatever his name is, Jonah Hill's character. It's I'm checking my Facebook feeds every 30 40 minutes to see if anybody's posted a see if anybody's posted a client, but nobody's posted a client, right? So I'm just sitting there waiting. And no, it's not the only thing I'm doing, but I am anxious. I love to see that kind of stuff, so I can't wait to see that come into the group. Very excited about that. So here's the thing about getting started. Understand that your numbers will get better. So the whole point is to put numbers on the board. And when I say on the board, that's code for track everything, right? I've always talked to you about tracking from day one. Sorry, I'll look at the camera. I keep looking at notes and looking at the screen comments. Wow, I see a lot of comments now. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. Good afternoon from New York City. So ready for the December dash? I bet you are. There's not much going on in NYC right now. Not worth a damn anyway. So I'm happy to have you here. Grateful for that. I'm glad you're safe, actually. To be frank, Norway, very cool. Good to see you here. Ready for the December dash. Christina's here. She's very excited. That's good. Steve Bishop from Cali. There he is. Thanks for all you do for us. You're more than welcome. More than welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay, ready. Somebody said ready to go. That's good. Yeah, me too. Uh, Numbers. You got to understand your numbers. So, and I'll do my best to look at you. I usually look somewhere else when I think instead of the camera. Um, with numbers, you need to understand you got to put them on the board. You got to start with that. Like you can't make anything better unless you track it, period. I take that back. You can, but if you want significant improvement out of the gate, then you're going to have to track your numbers. Now, the cool thing is when you track your numbers, right? And by your numbers, I mean how many dials did you make or how many people did you speak with from ringless voicemail, voice broadcasting, emails, things like that. How many conversations did you have? And then out of those, how many business owners did you speak to? And then out of that, and I usually do that on a post-it note. Now, if you need to see examples of how I do that, like real time, and also the end result of that and what that looks like, you can actually document that. I've documented that entire process. You can follow that over in the bonus COVID Client Challenge inside the training area for Ring Ads. So you can find that COVID Client Challenge inside the Ring Ads training area in the software. You'll find that, and it works. Imagine that, right? And in order for you to make those numbers better, like your close rate, for example, everybody's always, oh, I got to get that client, got to get that first client, got to get that first client. No, it's not about the first client, actually. It's about tracking your numbers, looking at your numbers, and then understanding that you're due. Kind of like the odds are in your, like, not only in your favor, but the deck is stacked. The deck is decked. That's funny. The deck is stacked in your favor. It's almost like card counting without card counting and getting thrown out on your ass, right? You're in a casino. You've card counted and you know you're due. You are due, right? That card, that the next couple cards it's going to lay down, it's got your name on it, right? The only way for you to know that, though, by the way, is to track your numbers all the way through the entire sales process. You've spoken to this many people, you've spoken to this many decision makers, you've gotten through the qualifying questions with this many people, and out of that many people, you've pitched almost the same amount. So you've made 6 pitches, and you know that you're due, right? Because 1 in 6, 1 in 7, that's usually where most people start. Usually, right? If it's worse than that, if you've pitched 10 people and asked for the money 10 times and you don't have a sale, we need to have a talk and you need to bring your numbers to that conversation, because if you don't bring your numbers to that conversation, I have to go off of your gut feeling. And let me tell you something, numbers are always more accurate than your gut. That's what, even my gut, after all these years, the only thing that will ever tell the true story in the truest form is going to be numbers. Numbers tell the story. And so numbers never lie. Trust the numbers. Bring me numbers. Track everything, right? Track it all. And that's going to be able to tell me, oh, look, you're having a problem in the pitch part of your sales pipeline. Let's talk about that. And then I give you everything I got on the pitch. Then you go back, you revisit some of those conversations, in fact, and also on all your new conversations, and now you find out, lo and behold, your close rate has dropped to 1 in 5. But the only way you would know that, folks, is if you track. You getting it? You starting to get what I'm laying down? Track, track, track. Don't make a phone call without tracking it, okay? And I would expect you to expect the same of your people, right? Your staff. So you're going to have to be in the habit of doing it, and not only in the habit of doing it, but making it a requirement for people you hire, okay? So tracking and then understanding those numbers will get better. So if 1 in 7 frustrates you, man, I got to talk to 7 people, or I got to pitch 7 people and talk to probably 30 or 40 just to get a deal or two deals. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it could be way worse. Could be way worse, and that those numbers are actually pretty damn good, considering how much you're spending, or how little rather you're spending to be able to get those numbers, right? To get to those numbers, and as how much time is involved to get that. Like, you notice there's no ad campaigns to set up to get clients. I mean, you can do that stuff, and I can teach you that stuff, but at the same time, like your cost per acquisition on a client is going to go higher, right? Right now, with ringless voicemail, voice broadcasting, and email, it's going to be in the $5 to $10 range or less if you do the follow ups the way I teach. That's You're not going to find that on Facebook ads. You can have the best fucking Facebook ads in the world, and don't get me wrong, they'll get clients, and you'll pull in a client acquisition rate anywhere from, 15, well, maybe even 10, 20, 30, $40, right? It's going to be a range depending on the vertical you're in. And those are great numbers, but it ain't a couple dollars, $5, right, per client. You're not going to find that hardly anywhere, right? And if you do, let me know about it so I can teach you guys that. But I'm always open to ideas. But this is proven. It's worked for years. It will continue to work for years as long as we have these fucking things, right? These cell phones. As long as we have those next to us, within 3 feet of us at all times, it's going to work, right? And it's been working even long before that when we had just landlines. So understand your numbers will get better. It's not something to fret about at the beginning. It's part of the process. Manage your expectations. Put your feelings in the fucking desk. They don't belong out in the workspace. Detach your emotions from your results, at least initially. Please do yourself a favor. And this is for everybody, not for certain personality types. This is for everybody. Some of you are expecting to come in. I don't care what he says. I'm gonna come in and get 10 clients a day. No, you're not. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. I want you to get 10 clients this month, 10 clients this week. That's possible. More than possible. 10 in a week. Easy. 2 a day, 5 days, you can have 10. No questions asked, right? I've seen people go on absolute tears in 48 hours and do almost that. Okay. So, I'm not saying what's necessarily possible, impossible. I don't want you to burn yourself out, for one thing. And I want you to be understanding of, if you don't track your numbers and you go in swinging for the fences and you're not tracking where that pitch went, you're going to have problems and you're going to get very, very frustrated and you're going to quit. And I don't want you to quit. I want you to be successful. I want you to build the agency. So don't go that way. Go the way I'm asking you to go. Promise you'll have much better results when you track and manage your own expectations, right? I'm not saying lower your expectations. I said manage. Manage, meaning expect to produce results by tracking, right? And pulling in what you pull in and knowing that it's going to get better. That's management of your expectations, because you can get to a 1 in 3 close rate, no problem. 1 in 4, no problem, right? Where are you going to start? Most of you, 1 in 6, 1 in 7. So working with me, how does it get better? Record your phone calls. Imagine that. I ask you to do that as part of the December Dash. I reward the most points for doing that, submitting those to support. Yeah, there's a reason why. Because it helps you go back and listen to your own calls and be like, damn, I deviated from the script right there. He told me not to do that, and I did it, and that cost me. That's where I went wrong right there. That's what cost me the deal. Or, man, he sounded, now that I listen to it, he sounded like he was ready to go, and I didn't pay attention to that. I need to pay more attention. When they're ready to go, go, right? So there's a lot of things that call recordings help with. Of course, I can help you with that as well, but not if I don't have call recordings, right? It's like asking me to fix something without a tool, dude. All right, not gonna happen. Hammer a nail without a hammer. You can do it. It can be done with something else, like a brick or some shit or a rock, but it ain't gonna be pretty, right? And not that it always has to be pretty, but I mean, if your life is depending on this nail going through this board the right way, you probably don't want to be doing that with a rock. You want to be using an actual hammer or a tool, the tool that's made for the job, to make sure it's actually going in the way it needs to go in. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Um, Focus. I'd like to talk about focus. So, and shift into the focus that it's going to require. It doesn't require. Uh, This business doesn't require you to, like I said, give up 8, 10, 12 hours of your day, of your life. It is very much couple hours a day. Nothing else exists though, right? Everything else exists after those couple hours, sure. That's why I say you can still have family time. You can still have time to go out and do things if you want to go out and do things. If you want to look at Facebook and see what everybody's up to, and look at everybody's pretty life, and comment on, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do, right? Whatever it is that you got in your mind that you do in the middle of doing this stuff, don't do that. Instead, focus down on what you're doing here for 2 hours. Nothing else exists, and then pick that stuff back up. All you're doing is moving. All we're doing, if you notice, is rearranging your priorities. We're changing and shifting how you think and how you operate. When a business owner, um, think about this for a second. If let's pretend like Facebook, if you owned a brick and mortar business, and let's pretend Facebook was a physical location that you had to go to visit, in order to interact with it, instead of it being on the phone a couple of feet away, right? This is my example. So you've got to go into business, you got business hours, and you're a local business owner, you're brick and mortar. So you got to be there. And a lot of you are going into your business, unlocking the shop, throwing the open sign on, getting everything spooled up, maybe even starting some of the work. And then at some point, it's like you just set everything down and walk out the fucking door and go down the street to the Facebook building, right? That I'm in my example here. That's exactly what you do, or the Twitter building, or whatever whatever the hell you're doing on your phone. You're playing Angry Birds 2, or whatever the fuck you're doing. Um, None of those things are bad, by the way. They're good distractions, and distractions can be healthy. And change of environment, change of habit, even for something, doing mindless little activities from time to time are good. Just not during your 1 to 2 hours that you're open for business. It's not like you're open for 24/7 and you took a break to go down the street to Facebook, right? You're cut 2 hours. 2 hours. You got to dedicate 2 hours to the business. You can't dedicate 2 hours to the business. Probably shouldn't be in this business. Go find something else. Go find an easy button that doesn't work, right? Go keep pushing those easy buttons and all that shiny object shit out there, right? And I'm not judging uh, anybody else's product or training or anything. I'm just saying I know this works. What about you? Where are you at? Where's your level of commitment? Where's your level of dedication? I'm not calling you out necessarily because I'm not saying any names, right? I wouldn't do that to you, but I'm getting real with you. I'm getting real. Today's the first. Who's got a client right now? Anybody got a client? Let me see in the comments. Who has their first client right now? They just haven't posted it up yet. Show me the money. Who's got the clients? Think you haven't had enough time to get a client? Bullshit. You're selling yourself short. You're telling yourself a fucking lie. Don't be hard on yourself. I'm just telling you straight. I'm telling you what nobody else is going to tell you. Art's ready to crush it. Cool. Ready to crush it. Ready, 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 ready. It's 11:30 West Coast. It's the afternoon on a Tuesday on a prime call-in day. One of the most prime days of the year. Who has a client? Again, no judgments. I just want you to gut check yourself and be like, shit, today's the first. Now I see why he's being a little more aggressive. Like he's on it. He's on us to get on it, right? You should have been on it yesterday. This is what I want you to see. Business owner, put your business agency owner hat on, your mindset. All that prep and fast start and gear up was for today. Not for yesterday, today. If anything, you should have started early just to make sure the car was moving, right? Just to make sure the car was already moving, right? Kind of like what we call a rolling start. It's not a start from a dead stop. That's a lot harder. Takes a lot more energy, right? Than a rolling start. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Some good potentials, but not closed yet. See, somebody's already. Who is that? Who is that? That's who I want to talk to right there. I probably will in a minute. We'll jump over to the. We'll do an Ask Me Anything towards the end here. I do want to share this with you because it's very important stuff. We got to get real. Where is? Let's see. I'm not seeing the comments. I can't see who that is that wrote that. Some good potentials, but not closed yet. Called yesterday and went to call today. List expired via Dollar Central. That's That's Art that says that. Need to re-upload my list, I'm told. Okay, do that. Do that. Sounds like it's been a long time since you've been in there running it, so you probably should go in there, re-upload that. Check with the Dollar Central support as well. They should be able to help you with whatever's going on there, right? Uh, some good potentials, but not closed yet. That's Art. Okay. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. If that's not you, if that's not where you're at right now, and you're not ready to close business or have closed business by today, by the end of business today, you're not behind the eight ball. Uh, but understand that the first has come and gone. It's not done yet, but in a few hours it will be. In a few hours it will be. That's This is meant to be a kick in the ass to, and in a half an hour we'll be done because these are only an hour long, right? And then you're going to be left to your own devices and your own thoughts. And I want you thinking the right shit, right? I want you thinking the right things here. Um, I want you to be like, man, where's my post-it notes at? And you're gonna write down what you need to do, and then you're gonna hit the button and actually go, right? I want you to go and get things done. So focusing. The main thing is a lot of people choose to focus on the wrong thing. Besides the distractions, there's now that we've talked about that, address that elephant in the room. There's focusing on what I call the wrong things, right? Um, the wrong things to focus on would be things like your first client. Sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? Well, in the whole point to get a client, well, that's part of the point of this business. I mean, it's not even half the battle. Yes, you got to get a client, but then once you have a client, you have to what? Deliver the phone calls to them. You have to improve those campaigns, and you got to wash, rinse, repeat, do that over and over again, right? You've got to work on your support and onboarding for that client and all the systems and processes that govern that. There's a lot to this business that you build over time. You don't have to build it all today, uh, but it's more than just a client, right? It just for some reason people focus or choose to focus on that as their endpoint, and then when they get there, it's almost like the dog that caught the car. Dogs never catch a car, right? But what would they do if they caught it? I caught the car. What do I do now? I caught the car. I'm gonna go back to the porch and chase another car because I don't know what to do with this car because I caught it. Right? They wouldn't know what to do. Don't be that person. Don't be that person that gets a client and doesn't know what to do. Know what your next steps are. It goes beyond acquiring a client. So the focus should not only be on getting a client. Follow? That's what we call logic in this business. All right, it's very logical. Um, what I need you to understand is instead you should be tracking everything activity wise in your sales pipeline. So all the stuff I just told you to track about the conversations, the pitches, that you got through the qualifying questions, the pitches, the closes, all that stuff. Did I speak to a decision maker? All those in order, right? And know what your numbers are and track that. And that's going to help you keep your focus on that. And you're going to see, okay, I'm due 1 in 6, 1 in 7, I'm due. And next thing you know, you start popping out a client, and then it's an expectation, but it's a managed expectation. It's a smart, educated guess, which is much better than a completely uneducated random guess. And then I want you to focus on putting together 1 to 2 hour windows per day, either when you're prospecting, when you're building campaigns out, when you're onboarding clients, when you're um, again, prospecting, we already said. So all those main things, those few main things that you got to work on initially, 1 to 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, if you can. If you can do more than that, great. If you can't do but an hour of that, and then on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever, do a half a day then to kind of give you several more hours towards the end of the week in order to make up for only the 1 hour a day that you're able to spend those 5 days. Okay, but the consistency is super important. That's where your focus should be, right? That's where your focus should be, not the next client, but moving, right? I want you to get the first decision maker on the phone. Then I want you to focus on getting um, the first decision maker through the qualifying questions. Then I want you to focus on getting the first decision maker to the pitch, right? And then I want you to focus on getting 10 of them to the pitch, 10 decision makers to the pitch once you got your first one through. Because once you get your first one through, 9 more is going to be pretty easy. And now that you got 10 of them, you should have 1, 2 clients. If you don't, we need to talk. I'm here all month. Okay, that's what these are going to be for towards the end. Um, Expected outcomes. Here's something else. You're going to have progress through the sales pipeline, not through the clients, right? So, kind of a reiteration of what I just said. So, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but again, it's management of those expectations. If you notice, a lot of people hinge all their bets on whether or not they get a client. Like this business model is successful to them when they get a client, and that's the most wrong assessment ever. That is an assessment actually of your abilities, of what you think you can do, imposed and enforced, if you will, or thrown upon a limitless agency model. You're limiting yourself. You're putting limitations on yourself and your own performance from day one if you focus on just getting that one client, just to prove to yourself that you can make this work. By all means, do that, but don't go into it that way. You got to check that shit at the door. Track everything. Do what I'm telling you, you're going to do very well, and you're going to do very well very fast. And before you know it, that bullshit limiting belief that you just had about whether you can do it or not just got completely obliterated, and you're in brand new territory, uncharted territory that's actually not uncharted for me. And I, I'm going to point you, I'm going to lead you the way, right? The next few steps, I've got you, okay? You're not by yourself. That's probably one of the best things about this kind of a training and this kind of a contest. So I'm here for you. Okay. All right. Special topic of the day, and then we'll jump over into the Ask Me Anything. Okay. uh, Progress through the well, no, excuse me. We already talked about that. The special topic is going to be building a business and business owner mindset. So you're building a business, and I'm just going to kind of recap that because that was kind of the entire conversation. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So, building a business and business owner mindset, you've already got a good understanding of what that agency owner mindset is going to look like, how important it is, because I told you how much time I'm going to be dedicating to that in the training and also in um, update videos and things like that. Just content, not for content's sake, but just from all the stuff I've pulled in the past, okay, and taught on in the past. That's very effective. I'm going to be doing that because it's that important. It's something I probably should have done a long time ago, just didn't really fully realize it till yesterday. It all kind of came together for me. Shit happens, right? I'm trying to make things better for you guys, so I'm not always going to be perfect. But I'll tell you what, when I do catch something like that, I'm like, ooh, and I hold on to it, and I don't let it go until it gets done because it needs to get done. You guys need that, and I see that now more than ever. So we're going to have that. Again, it's not going to be a Tony Robbins session because I'm not that guy, right? Um, and there are places for you to work on yourself, right? What I'm going to give you is how to put yourself in the right position mentally to run the business. Because even at your lowest points, you can run this business and run it very well, right? You don't need self confidence. If anything, you need confidence in your offer. Talked about that in the past recently here. And if you haven't seen that, I think that's on the last coaching call, actually. It was on the 28th. We just did that a few days ago. So the 28th of November, you can find that in the free Facebook group. Free to join. Uh, Talked about the topics. Cool. I'm going to grab the link. If you guys have guys and gals, if you folks have questions, um, I am happy to answer. Let me grab that link. I'm going to paste this link in for the Zoom, live Zoom, and feel free to join. Actually, I need to do attendance. So while you join, I'm going to um, I'm going to mute everybody as you come into the Zoom, and you don't have to come into the Zoom, by the way. That's if you want to ask questions live. Okay, I have no problems doing that, but I need to take attendance, so I'm going to pull up my attendance sheet here, and all right, let me see here. So, man, we got to make this easy on attendance. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, if you are watching this live stream and it's still live, not recorded, okay, and obviously the time frame on this ends at the end of the session, okay. So, no, no. second chances here. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. So there's about, what, 21 people in the running for the Show Up Grow Up Award currently. It could be more as people keep coming in, but right now it looks like 21 or so. Okay. So, oh, it didn't post in Facebook. The link did not post in Facebook. So let me go over to the Facebook group and post the link in. Make sure I'm on the right. There it is. So I just posted that in the comment section. Look for my comment. You'll see a Zoom link in the Facebook group as well. I forgot Restream doesn't post to Facebook groups for some reason. It's just not allowed. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I want you to do two things. Two things. Two things. Okay. Number one, I want you to like. No, I want you to do three things. I want you to do three things. I want you to like this Facebook feed. And there's a specific one because there's several right now. Remember, I'm live streaming in YouTube, on my Facebook page, on my profile, the Ring Ads page. I want you to go inside the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group yet, it's free to join. Request to join it. If you need to find that, connectwithringads.com. You'll find if you go there to that website, connectwithringads.com, you will find a link to the Facebook group, and it'll say request to join. You request to join, I'll approve it, okay, and you'll be good. All right, so first task is to like this live stream, and there's a bunch of likes. Okay, so I see you guys are getting that. Okay, second thing to do, okay, it's very easy. It's very easy. At the bottom right of the video, there's what's called a share button, okay, a share button. What I want you to do is I want you to share the video, well, the live stream, rather. I want you to share the live stream. Actually, you know what? Can that be done? Hold on. I don't know if that can be done or not. Maybe not from the group. Let's save that for tomorrow. We'll do that one tomorrow. But we'll do it not from the group. We'll probably do it from the page. Okay. So if you've liked, we're gonna go back to the two things. I know this is confusing. I'm figuring it out as I go here. So the likes on the current live stream that we're on inside the Facebook group. That's the most important. All right. The second thing is I want you to input your email, your Ring Ads email, your Ring Ads email. I want you to put that in the comments. I want you to comment below that same live stream in the group with your email address. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take attendance with that right now. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to be done. Let's see. So we're going to, okay, so we've got, I'm just typing out some stuff here. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're really going to do. I'm going to go to the screen so you can see who I'm typing in. And if I miss somebody, don't freak because I'm still here. Okay. Let me see if I can pull up the comments. They're pouring in, so give me a second. It may take take me a second to pull them all up, which is totally cool. But it may take a second. Let me see. Come on, Facebook. Show me some better shit than that. Oh, that's why. Is that why? Show me his Ring Ads. There we go. Maybe that'll do it. All right. That's so crazy. It looks like I might have to do it later. But I can catch most of it. If you do not see your name, uh, do not freak. I will find it. Actually, let's see here. There's a Ken. You're not going to be on anyone's email list, Art. And yes, you can delete the comment once I've recorded it, but I don't have you listed yet, so hang tight. Julian Alexander. There's a Ken somebody. Hold on. I'll come back to that one. Did I miss John Smith? Not anymore. Jeff, is that Jeff at Lion Pride Marketing? That's Jeff. Muhammad. Hold on. Wasn't it? I think that's what your name was. I'll have to go back and check, and don't judge me on spelling. I'll get there. I can't see all the comments right now. That's part of the problem. Uh, Actually, maybe if I go to, come on, Facebook. Why does it do that to me? It's so shitty of you, Facebook. Can't see my comments. All right, let's see. There's the likes. Where's the comments? Show me the comments. What does that say? No. Karen Novak. Karen, you're on the wrong feed, but I'm still going to count you. I'm in the wrong group. I got to go back to the main group. See if I can pull up the comments. Oh, I got it right. No, I didn't. A instead of E. I was close though. It's pretty damn close. And I didn't forget you because you were one of the first actually up top. Uh, okay, so now I may have forgotten someone or may have missed someone. I want you to look at this list, and I can even read them off if you'd like. Um, Hey, Art should be in here somewhere. Uh, Adrian Bryan, there he is. I was wondering where you were, bud. Julian Alexander, Ken, somebody who's Ken. Can you comment in for me again? Not necessarily your email, but can you just a comment so I can see your last name and know who you are? Because I feel like I missed you, um, and I don't. Jerry Clark, I will get you on there. Done, my man. Done. Um, Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? So I have Scott Moody, Jeff Brewer, Bob Lee, Steve Taylor. Sorry about that, bud. Tron Fetterberg or Fetberg. Um, Tim Blank, Christina Pucci, John Hackwood. Word, my bad. John Hackwood. There we go. Ken right? Ken Wilson. There he is. I was going to call you Ken Ken Wilson. Very good. And Julian Alexander. John Smith with a capital M for some effing reason. Muhammad Zakir Hussein. Karen Novak, Art Tatman, Adrian Bryan, Jerry Clark, and here's a couple people: Garrett Amon and Robert Cornack. Very cool. Um, Art is asking or saying maybe in future vids send a Google Forms URL. It will then populate to sheets and all that. That's true. I could do that. However, that would not help get the word out about ring ads. So you're doing me a favor by doing what I'm asking you to do on the likes, and then tomorrow we'll do some sharing on a different live stream version. So plus it keeps it interesting and also makes it completely unpredictable. If I just give you a Google form, we're gonna have some cheaters, and I don't like cheaters, and I know you don't like cheaters either. So we're gonna do it my way. Thanks for the suggestion, but we're gonna do it my way. My contest, my rules, baby. We do it my way. It's gonna be more fun anyway. So sit back. I got this. I got this. I got this. Um, did I miss anybody? I'm gonna go over to the Zooms and ask, do some Q&A, and then if I missed anybody, let me know. I may come back and get your email another day. Some of them I'm going to be able to grab, like John Smith's I can grab. I'm also going to go back to the comments when Facebook, I think when Facebook actually, when I stop the live stream, it's going to be able to show me more of the comments. But if you've commented with your email address in there, then I should be able to see that. And obviously, since your names are all here, I'm going to mark you all down for the first. Congratulations. If there's anybody else, while I jump into the Zoom, you got about 14, 13 minutes or so, or however long we go, maybe a few minutes over, because it looks like we got a few people, but we're trying to keep this limited to an hour. So I'm going to go over to the Zoom now, and we're going to do some Q&A. Whoops, there's that. Okay. We'll start with Christina. Christina, go ahead, unmute yourself. Christina, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, did you ask anything? Because
No,
I was
nope. How can I
okay.
help? How can I help?
Um, right. So I run my flying campaign, and I got some junk calls in.
Okay.
I did follow your training, but for some reason, I got some people asking for, calling that company but asking for a different one, or
That's not
asking
a
me for
junk call.
no, but why would they ask for a different company if the ad says I
When
was
you
confused.
listen, when you over there, it's like what 411. Our 911 is your 411, right? Something like that. What's the emergency
Nine
number?
991.
991.
Yeah.
991. Ours is 911. When you dial 911, do you really care what hospital you're going to if you're bleeding out by the
Okay.
neck?
Okay.
Somebody else handles that for you, right?
All right.
Now, if your car's broken down, as long as you're not like murdered on the side of the road, right? From somebody, do you really care who comes out and fixes your car or tows your car? No.
Okay.
So when you think of brands, when I say think of a fast food restaurant, what's the first restaurant you think of?
McDonald's.
Right. But why?
It's just always there. It's everywhere.
Right.
It's
But do you always want McDonald's then?
never.
No. Well, you say never, okay, but let's cut the joking out because I got to keep moving here. I got other people to talk to. Let's get real serious and real fast. With McDonald's, you you don't always want McDonald's, but why is it the first thing that comes to mind?
Because it's just the very first fast food chain. It's always out there.
It's not the very
It's
first.
the most famous, I guess.
Famous. Famous for what? Great burgers?
Mm, not for just being a fast food chain.
Come on, you can do better than that. Somebody help her
Marketing.
out. Somebody help her out. Somebody help her out. When I think of towing, I don't think of towing. I think of who I know in towing. Are you following me?
Mm, no,
You're
not really.
not. Okay. Um, when I just asked you about fast food, you thought of McDonald's, even though we may not even go get McDonald's. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when you need a tow, you don't think of towing, you think of insert company
Okay.
here because they do fucking
Okay.
towing. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So we're on the same train of thought.
Okay.
What's the
Yeah.
problem with those calls?
I don't know. I just thought that maybe that kind of thing shouldn't happen. I did manage to pull 10 calls with $14. Um, do you
Okay.
think that's a good amount of calls for that price?
Now the question you just asked me tells me it's Tuesday and you haven't done your market research yet.
Well, I couldn't really find much information regarding leads for that niche.
That okay. Market research is done how, Christina?
I've done the Google one. I
Okay.
told you that I was a couple of days behind, so I just need to do the calls now.
Okay, and it's Tuesday and you haven't done I thought you did the calls yesterday. You didn't gear up and do your calls yesterday?
I, I was still setting up other things.
You were still setting up other things. Are you avoiding? Answer me straight
No,
out.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not avoiding.
Okay.
I'm still setting up things. Like today, I was on a call with Sherry from Central to finish that up. And
Okay.
I've done what I could with my 9 to 6, but I've got 2 days off this week, so I can make the time up for starting up late.
Okay. The answer to your question is going to be in your market research, but I'll tell you right now, $14 or 14 pounds?
Uh, well, it was £11.
11 pounds. Okay, so 14 bucks. Um, what I would say is, sorry, some noise going on. What I would say is, that's not only a great rate, it's a really good rate initially. And you're not, here's the thing. You came on the call saying you think you have a bunch of junk calls, right? Um, I think you came in guns blazing. Like you're not really in a position, not even close to being in a position to be able to make that kind of a judgment, right? And the only way you're going to be able to make that kind of a judgment or get better at making that kind of judgment is not by asking yours truly, it's by what? What do you need to have
I
done in order to make good judgments on your vertical?
call the call some towing companies.
I'm sorry?
Call some towing companies.
Not just call some towing companies. That's no.
I have 9 pages worth of market research, but I couldn't find. I found a couple of resources regarding price.
Right.
Um, a company saying we can get you leads for $7,
You broke up.
and
Company that
then
says a company you
most
broke up. You broke
towing
up.
companies get
Christina.
work.
Christina, you broke up. You said companies that can get me leads for what?
Someone said $7,
Okay.
and then what I could see is that most towing companies get work from motor clubs. That's
That's
it. I
correct.
couldn't find, yeah, I couldn't find like pay per call, and motor clubs pay them like 37 to $40
That's
for
correct.
the commission.
Do you know
Okay,
anything else about motor clubs?
bits. I need to go over that again.
Right. And we don't call them motor clubs, by the way. Not really. That's not the language that we use. You go in there saying that, good luck, right? So there's a lot more to that. Towing companies, do you think they buy phone calls?
No,
You don't.
N- or not. They don't have like a home advisor kind of thing.
That's correct. They're not mainstream phone call buyers. However, there are things that you're learning about the vertical that's going to actually make it even easier for you to make the sale. Not harder, easier, right?
Okay.
What you don't know can kill you in this business, right? And
Yeah.
I don't mean literally kill you in the business. So, what about these motor clubs do you think would be so dangerous or so bad for a towing company?
Well, the fact that they just pay commission for whatever job they send. I also read that they get the towing companies to do jobs that the motor clubs themselves wouldn't do.
Yep,
I read that on Reddit.
yep.
Um,
What else? Can you just sign
and
up today, sign a piece of paper, and you're in on the auto club list, or what?
okay, I didn't find that.
Yeah. Let me clear that up for you. There's a lot of fucking red tape for those towing companies a lot of hoops for them to jump through to just be on that list.
Okay.
And just because they're on that list, usually they're in a rotation, which means all the calls are getting spread out anyway, right? Do you know anything about limitations in terms of how much they're allowed to charge per mile, hookup fees, all that kind of stuff? Did you know that they're limited, severely limited by the auto clubs?
No.
Right. So when they buy your call, yeah, they're paying you up front, but it's so low initially. What can they charge with your phone call?
Well, they can charge more. They can charge the customers more.
They can charge whatever they
Um,
want. That's the right
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
And they can charge whatever they want per mile, right? And they can get more jobs like they actually want. And they're not in a rotation. The calls are all exclusive to them, right? There's a lot of reasons why this makes more than enough sense for business owners to say yes to you in the towing industry. But you have to have your market research done. Really, anything and everything else. Not that Dollar Central is not important. I'll answer your questions on that. I think you asked a couple questions about that, so you should probably ask those again, and I'll get you an answer on that. But I'll tell you right now, none of that matters if you don't have good market research. You're going to have all your phone stuff set up, and then you're going to be on the phone and not doing well because you don't have good market research. And I'm not going to give you all the answers. It's not going to do you any favors, okay? I have the answers. I will discuss them with you as you find them beyond what I just gave you, but I just gave you a hell of a lot more than I probably should have actually come to think of it. But I want you I want to show you that you're not even begun to dig yet, right? And a lot of that comes down to the phone calls and then revisiting Google, right? Because you don't have
I,
enough
I thought
targeted.
I thought I did, honestly. I thought
Well,
I
yeah,
spent a few
okay.
hours on Google. So.
I can accept that at least on the Google side, but I've told you to speak to no less than 20 decision makers or office managers and have meaningful conversations, 20 of them. And I know that's a lot, but it's actually not. I mean, if you think that's a lot, you're probably in the wrong business, right? We're in the phone call business. You should be attached to your phone, right? You should be on the phone more than Jerry Maguire, right? All day, every day, either talking to clients, talking to potential clients, uh, teaching, training staff, listening to call recordings. You should be on the phone a lot throughout your day, um, through most of those 1 to 2 hours a day, even if that's all you've got, right? Um, you gotta get your market research done, Christina. Got to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Um, you can do it. You've got a good start on it, but you're really only scratching the surface. And I want you to see that and understand. Oh shit! Like now I understand why people are still hanging up on me, right?
Okay.
Is that you following?
Yeah.
Okay. For Dollar Central, what was your question on that? On the setup stuff? You asked it earlier somewhere else.
Yeah, Sherry wasn't sure what kind of number I should get people to call me back on. I'm assuming it would be my Twilio one rather than the one that is in Dial Central.
Well, if you
Um,
can forward your Dollar Central to like a Skype number or something that you have, because you're overseas, it'd be a lot easier to go direct from Dollar Central for your prospecting. Dollar
oh,
Central does
The Twilio number is an American US number.
right, but then
So,
it still has to be forwarded, right?
mm,
So you might as well take an American number from Dollar Cent from excuse me from 800 Link, not from Dollar Central, from 800 Link, and forward it
Yeah,
directly
yeah.
to a Skype number, which you're going to be able to pick up on your end. It's less
Okay.
connections, right? Less chances for shit to go bad or go wrong, right? So
Okay.
set that up, forward it over to a Skype number, um, and answer your phone calls that way. It's going to be a lot easier, a lot clearer connection, no problems, no chances for really for problems because it's SIP technology. Um, your Dollar Central credits are not the same credits. It's not the same system as what 800 Link is based off of, right? And 800 Link only charges you for certain calls. And it's, again, talk to Dollar Central about that. They have all the information, even though they're not 800 Link. It's two separate companies, but they know the owners. They work very closely with 800 Link, and 800 Link is what they use to link into their SIP technology to link that to you. So think of 800 Link as a bridge. It has its own credit system.
Okay.
Unless you
Okay.
do extremely heavy prospecting, I highly doubt you're going to go over like their account limits. And if you do, you upgrade, right? And the upgrades are not going to kill you either, right? You've seen the pricing on that. It's like what, $20, $40 max. I mean, so what? You spend another $20, but only after you have a ton of clients in already anyway. So it's an absolute no-brainer. But the credit systems are separate from Dollar Central. I remember you asked something along those lines. What you run in Ringless Voicemail Voice Broadcasting is Dollar Central. That's Dollar Central. 800 Link, that's what comes in through that phone line that's connected into Dollar Central through the SIP technology. That forwards the call to you. It also does call recordings and messages as well. Can do voice messages, so people can leave you a voice message, is what I mean to say, um, and have all those recorded too. So, uh, pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward process. It doesn't sound like you have much to do there. Maybe another phone call to make sure everything's set up, but that wouldn't be my first phone call today. It would not. My first phone call today would be market research as soon as humanly possible. Like now
Okay.
is a good time. Now, like it's 12 here. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. You've got a few hours to get some shit done on your market research and actually speak to some business owners and have good conversations. And it has to be done. Or let's put it this way. You can choose not to do it. You can choose to side skirt it or do it not as well as you really know you need to. Uh, you'll pay for it over and over and over again. It's kind of like buying the same pack of gum, but pay one pack of gum, but paying for it over and over again. um, to chew the same gum. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Only it's actually more expensive than a pack of gum. Think about paying for your car for the rest of your life. That's the kind of expensive it can get. Um, it's really not a good idea. And the second that you realize that the hard way, if you go that way, you're going to have to backtrack and do market research anyway. So, and it doesn't get any easier actually, because it is what it is. Market research is what it is. It's not sales. It's not customer onboarding. It is market research. There's no substitute for it. None whatsoever. That's why there are entire companies that you never heard of, all in the background, behind the scenes, that make a killing doing market research because it's imperative. If you want to do well in the markets of anything, you got to have it. And I'm giving you the down and dirty on how to do it and get it done well, but you got to have it. If you don't have it, it's gonna cost you and you're gonna suffer. And I don't want to see you do that. I don't want to see you suffer. I'd rather you get the data you need and get it done. So, any other questions?
No, thank you.
You good? Okay. You sure?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My connection is really bad,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I
that's
saw
why I
that.
keep
I
on.
saw that. Okay.
Uh,
No worries. No worries. Okay. Um, well, you know what to do. I'm here, and those are all your questions, so we're good. Um, who's next? I don't know who's next. It's a Galaxy A20. No audio attached yet. No audio attached yet. And Chris Raposo, I see you. I'm putting you on the list here. Gotcha. I got you on the list. Um, Here, let me unmute you. Maybe that might help. And then you'll have to unmute yourself as well. Seems like you're connected to audio, but you might have to unmute yourself. Galaxy A20, whomever you are. And let's make this last call for questions as well in the comments, so that we can get back to work, because I know a lot of you are chomping at the bit to get on the phone, either for market research or for client acquisition, some of you. So Art's cheering you on, Christina. Says you can do this, Christina. That's good. I like seeing that. And you can. There's no doubt. There's not a doubt in my mind you can do this and do well at it. I think you'll probably, I'm not going to say you're going to be the only great or anything like that, but you know how people can be superstars in something. You have that potential, right? Not everybody has the potential to do well, right? Because anybody can flip a burger, right? I tell you that all the time. Anybody can drive phone calls, anybody, and do well with it. Anybody can acquire clients. Those are actually fairly easy things to do. Um, Not rocket science, but fewer people have the ability to not just eventually build this into a business in one location or two locations, but you've got the potential to, Christina, to do some really amazing things, way beyond what most people envision or think that they're capable of. There's just a few things that we've got to get you to realize about the business, and a few belief systems that we're going to work on. But outside of that, we'll be fine. Galaxy A20, looks like you're unmuted.
That's me. That's Julian Alexander.
Hey, Julian.
Hey, I didn't have any questions. It's just I saw that the requirement was you put a link in to join the Zoom meeting.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
linked into it. That's all.
Oh, spectating. Okay, no worries. Cool. Well, happy to have you as always, and I got you on the list. So I'm going to cover the list one more time if that's okay with everybody, and then we'll do last call on questions. If you got questions, ask away in the comments. If you want to ask in the Zoom, I saw a few other people in the Zoom come in, but then they left. Maybe they didn't have questions. Totally okay. If you want to come in there and spectate, I have no problem with that. But let's go through the list here. So we've got Scott Moody, Jeff Brewer, Bob Lee, Steve Taylor, Tron Fetberg, Tim Blank, Christina Pucci, John Hackwood, Ken Wilson, Julian Alexander, John Smith, Mohammed Zakir Hussein, Karen Novak, Art Tapman, Adrian Bryan, Jerry Clark, Garrett Amon, Robert Cornick, excuse me, Chris Raposo. Man, I probably butchered half of those names. But if you heard something that sounded kind of like your name, and you can see it on your screen, then you're good to go. If you do not, this is the last call on that, right? If you do not or did not hear your name or see your name on the screen currently, you need to speak now or forever hold your peace, because this right here becomes our tracking list for the rest of the month, actually, because nobody else will technically, if you think about it, qualify because they missed today. So if we have 100 people show up tomorrow, that's great. I'm happy to have them. They didn't show up for the first, right? Except for these 20 here, or these, what is that, 19. So if I did not catch you, you need to be inside of the Ring Ads Paper Call Facebook group, comment on the live stream with your email address, and you need to do that right now. You need to do that right now. Now, a lot of people are like, I'll come over here to FAQs and talk to you for a minute, because I know that some people. Let me sit over here. There we go. So I know that some people say, "Man, it's almost like you changed." Today's a bit different. It is, and that should be recognized 100%. I'm not going to beat you up ever, right? I am going to point you in the right direction, and I'm going to do what any good or half-assed parent or coach would do at the very least, which is not only point you in the right direction, but give you a little nudge. You know what I mean? towards that direction. And sometimes when we're feeling uncomfortable, the nudge feels bigger than it really is, right? Or harsher than it really is. And so here's what I want you to understand. We are now in the December dash. This is day one. This is not that last week wasn't serious or that we were playing around, but keep in mind, like, you keep steady working on what you're working on from last week into this week. Yes, just understand today's the first day of the contest. So it's real. Like all that prep and all that fast start stuff we did last week. Yeah, for today, it's real. Congratulations, welcome, right, to the real world. Here we are. And it's sometimes reality smacks us in the face. And I'm not the one being the messenger for the smacking in the face. I'm just kind of pointing it out that today has, for some of you in a few hours here, actually for most of you in a few hours, today will have come and gone in the US market. That quick, just like that. December 1 in the books. Everybody follow? So you'll have to forgive me for translating that message, right? For being the messenger, which is time is ticking, clock is ticking. Can't stop it, can't make it go backward either. So it's one of those things where I need to make you aware of it so that, like, let's say today wasn't a complete wash. You got some stuff done, great, and you made some progress. That's great, that's good. But if I were able to successfully impart this message to you and light a fire under your ass is how we would call it. Let's say it in the military, right? Light a fire under it, right? Meaning a fire under something, shit's going to get moving, right? It's going to get moving real quick. It's not going to just stay there. And that's the thing. I want you to look at this conversation as, hey, here's the mindset. Here's where your focus should be. Start working as hard as humanly possible, right? And don't let up, because I'm not going to let up. You don't either. Let's do this together. I'm still here. I'm still with you. I'm not going nowhere, right? I got you. Um, there's going to be good moments. There's going to be not so good moments. There's going to be utterly fantastic moments. And the good days and the bad days, you're going to have more good days by the end of this month than bad. Guarantee it. Far more good days than bad. And the bad days are going to be like almost laughable at the end of the month. We're going to be sitting pretty, but we got to put the work in right now. It starts today. And if this lights a fire under your ass right now to get moving, at least I know December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th this week are going to be, and 5th are going to be really good days for you. Probably because I lit fire under your ass. And that is the burden and the tough choice of being a coach. Having to be a good guy, but at the same time making sure that you know that we're here to do a job, and job comes first. Not that family's not important, not that other things aren't important. They are very much so, and make time for them all. And you can make time for them all if you schedule your time. So between that focus, the mindset, the tracking, um, knowing what you got to do and getting it done, and feeling that urgency that I just gave you, not anxiety, mind you. So you shouldn't be anxious about anything. You should just be like, I got to go do this. William said, go do this. It's time has come and gone. It is time to go do this. I'm doing it, right? And then do it. And then we talk about it, right? Even if you fall flat on your face, do it, right? Do it, because I'm going to be there. We'll pick you up, dust you off, talk about how we not do that again that way, let's say. And you may fall on your face again, but maybe you fall a little further forward. Maybe you take a couple of good steps first before you fall on your face. And sometimes that's the way it goes for some people. But eventually, and I say eventually, pretty quickly, within the first few days of doing that, it's not fall on your face every day. Eventually, you're off and running, right? After a few days of that, some people just start off running first day, right? Don't need help like that. That's cool. Uh, different strokes, right? Different strokes for different folks. Everybody's different. Um, if you're one that needed that fire, you got it. If you're one that needed direction on what's next, you got it. If you needed both, you got it. If you didn't need any of it, the hell are you doing here? Get back on the phone and keep closing those clients and post in the group, my man. and ladies. Um, I love all of you. I don't see anything in the comments. Looks good. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited to be here. Excited to help you. I'm excited to see what you produce and continue to produce, and not just as clients. I'm talking for the actual entire agency you're building. Um, Super happy about that. And yeah, I'll be here, but I'll let you get to it. I know we're a few minutes over, but totally worth it in my mind. I wanted to make sure everybody got their questions in. If you have questions for tomorrow, make sure that you ask them so that I can answer them. Okay, inside of tomorrow's feed, I'll go schedule that here in a minute and get that up there so that you can already start asking questions on it here in a few minutes. Like I said. That said, looks like we've got 19 people. I don't see anything else in the comments here on the live Facebook group. This is a live attendance for the Show Up Grow Up Award anyway. There's 19 of you. Um, it'll be interesting to see how many make it all the way through. I wish all of you the best on that. There's also a lot of other prizes and awards out there to win. And if you need a refresher on that, we covered that on the coaching call on the 28th. So if you look for the live stream for the November 28th, you'll find that as well inside the free group. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to connectwithringads.com and you'll see a bunch of different ways to connect with our social media, to follow us and get notified subscriptions, like on YouTube, for example, all that kind of stuff. And Muhammad's asking, there will be a live call every day at this time for about an hour the entire month. That's correct. 100%. Right? 100%. So we'll be on at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every day the month of December. That's not counting our normal coaching calls that we have scheduled in the free group as well. The normal coaching calls, you can find that at the top of the group in the cover photo on the 14th and 28th of every month. So the 14th and 28th of December in that case, at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll go 11 to 12 because that happens to fall on a Monday. We'll go 11 to 12 for our daily December Dash session, and then we'll do 12 to, or actually, no, excuse me, we'll do 2 p.m. I'm moving it to 2 p.m. instead of 12 p.m. this month because that also coincides on a Monday with the mentorship calls. So I'll do 2 hours over in the mentorship, 12 to 2, and then 2 p.m. on to whenever, basically. How many ever questions I got, whoever needs help and on what. And we should probably have quite a few, given that there are quite a few of you participating just in the attendance awards. I know if this is our initial attendance and I haven't even really mailed out on this thing yet, I've just been behind on some things. We're going to have some crazy cool participation this year. I'm super excited. It's going to be a hell of a competition. I know we got a lot of sleepers out there, even for people that aren't currently in attendance. So don't let this list fool you. This right here represents probably about, from past experience on attendance on initial sessions, I would say 5 to 8%. Definitely not 10%. It's less than 10%. So that means take a look at that list. Well, you're not looking at it, but now you are. Take a look at that list, multiply that by at least 10, maybe more like 12, 13. And you'll have an idea of who's participating or how many people are participating in the Ring Ads December Dash, right? So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head down. Get done what you need to get done. I'm here for you. I'm here to help. December 1st is here. Here it is. What are we doing? Shit or get off the pot. Light a fire under it. Whatever expression you need me to say to make that clear. And by the way, sometimes feeling a little bit of pressure about that is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's called healthy stress, right? It's called healthy stress. Don't use it to beat yourself up, obviously. Use it to get something done. Oh shit, he said it's here. Well, I'm gonna knock on some doors on my way home, right? Right, Christina? That's what I taught you to do. That's what I said I did. I'm gonna knock on some doors on my way home. I'm still going home, but I'm knocking on some doors on the way. That's what I want y'all to do, right? I want you to commit. Get done what you need to get done, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Right here, bright and early, early-ish, I guess, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Ring Ads December Dash Day 2. All right. That said, I'm out. I'll catch you guys then. All right. December to remember. I love it. Bye for now, guys.
Cool. Cool. UFO. Back on my shit with a new advantage. I leave it up to you to settle the damage. Diamond, yeah, I know it's foreign to him. I came from the guts of rural Alabama. Steph Curry wrist, watch with the handle. Simple motors, gotta lead by example. Not too many make it out when they doubt. Never been about bailing off of my route. Rain gang, got the city HD. Hate to see my brother die every week. Numb to your vision. My life got me too fucked up. Disrespect to make a nigga go dumb. Little talking while you nursing that bitch and turn you to a scrub. I let prices from the plug. Bay Shore, Ocean View, or win Adidas with the boots. Niggas out here slinging arbitrage, so the money really know it's due. Welcome to the realm.